Hey guys, here goes a highlight from the mentoring session with Douglas. Douglas asks, is there any way of knowing if price will continue up or down after retracement? So here goes the clip, guys.
Another question here, number 4. Is there any way to know if price is going to continue up or down after retracement? Yeah. So the typically if I have a big candle, like something, let me see if I can find okay, so like maybe this one right here, the one I just passed. Not that this is an entry here, but if it was an entry, typically if you have a big candle, it's like an outlier, right? So like for example, these candles over here are they're not very small, but they're a lot smaller compared to this one, right? So these are like maybe about 100 pips each candle, about 100 pips each. And then you have this huge candle over here that is like 600 pips. So when you have a big candle like this, things to pay attention to would be the midway of the candle right here or the full candle. So basically what you're looking for is to confirm whether the price is going to retrace, like you mentioned, if it's going to retrace up further and reverse, or if it's going to bounce back down from one of these points. So whenever I see a big candle like this and I'm looking for a sell, I'm not going to enter right away. I'm going to wait first because I'm waiting for that retrace. Exactly, pullback. So like I wait for the pullback here. You can see it pulls back to this area. Now I'm looking for the confirmation. I'm looking for it to come back down. Right here, it hasn't come back down, right? So at this point, I'm like, okay, it's probably not going to come down from this point. The next area is going to be the full candle. So next for it to go back up higher. Right there, it tests the full candle. Now I'm looking for the confirmation at this point. This is where it gets kind of tricky because when you get stuck in an area like this is where you don't know where price is going, right? Because now it's consolidating. So this is why it's important that I use multiple time frames. So for example, this right here, we have a sell bias. This is at about 7:10 a.m. I go over here on the multiple charts. And I pretty much look to see how price is going from that point. So like this is about, let me see. Yeah, 7:10 a.m. That wouldn't be an entry. So I wouldn't think to take an entry at that point, but let me just show you the biases that I use here just to confirm. So we have a sell bias here on the 1 minute, 5 minute over here, 7:10, sell bias again right here. And then again here on the 10 minute, 7:10 right here. Yeah, so you can see from these different candles over here, it's a little like uncertain, right? Because on 5 minute, you can see it's bearish. Right here, it's also bearish, but you see the big green candle. And then here on 1 minute, this is also pushing up. So you have two different, you have multiple directions here. So if I see something like this, then I'm not really going to look to take a trade. If I see everything for a sell, then at this point, I'm like, okay, if I get a confirmation of a sell at this point, then yeah, maybe I'll look for the correction back to the downside. And then if I was to take something like that, if I was to take something like this, instead of entering right away, say, for example, your entry was this big candle, right? So you're waiting for the retracement. What I would do is I'd have like a sell stop here. Okay. Just waiting at this point so that when price does come down, it'll automatically fill and then you'll go back into the order that you were planning on getting into. This way, you're not greedy. So for example, if you enter up here, yeah, of course you're gonna get better entry, but what if this reverses on you? Then you're screwed, right? You're gonna go right opposite of you. So for example, here, price doesn't actually come back down, it goes up. So it never fills your order. So you're just pending order right here, waiting for it to come back down. And then eventually it goes up. So now you confirm that, okay, it's not going to come back down. It's actually going to go opposite. Correct. Yeah. So it's really just waiting for the confirmation, right? I know a lot of people, they get greedy because they see price up here and they like, okay, I'll get a better entry at this point. And then at that point, it's like, okay, I should have just avoided the trade. For me, I'm good with my discipline. So if I know my entry's down here, I'm not going to get in for a discount. I'm going to get in down here. I'm going to wait for it to come back down to confirm. And that's how I personally do it.
No, you're good at that discipline, man. That Thursday, oh man, I sat through that hour and a half with you there, waiting. Nothing came. That's the first time I did that, Sean. I never ever did. I always click. Did that open? I always click something.
Yeah, no, definitely. You have to wait for that confirmation because the market has been a bit tricky. Well, it's typically like this at the end of the year because usually the market is bullish by now. It's not. It's getting there, but it's not necessarily there yet. I think for the